Today's lesson is on collecting data. So go ahead and grab your notes, grab your pens, grab your highlighter, and let's get started. All right, so I've got my notebook and I've got my 3 different colored pens and I've got my highlighter. Remember, with our notebooks, make sure you have the date at the top, make sure you have the lesson number, and let's go ahead and get going. All right, as I said, today's lesson is on collecting data. The question for the day is to describe, this is a review from our lesson, our previous lesson, describe the following in the simplest terms that you can. Independent variable, dependent variable, and a control variable. After scientists collect the data, there are 2 primary ways that we organize that data together, and we're going to talk about them in this video. The first is graphs, and the second is data tables. We'll actually talk about data tables first. With data tables, there's a left side and there's a right side, and the left side is where we have our independent variable. When we turn this into a graph, that will become our x-axis, and on the right side we have our dependent variable. When we turn this into a graph, that will be our y-axis. Scientists have agreed on these conventions so that we can quickly determine what was tested and what was measured in each experiment. Our y-axis is going to be the vertical axis. That's where we put our dependent variable. The origin is the beginning, or the 0 point, if you remember from math class. That goes at 0, 0, right where our star is. And the x-axis is our horizontal axis. That's where our independent variable is going to be plotted. You can remember by using dry mix. Dry has the y, that's going to be our independent variable, our dependent variable, that's going to go on our vertical axis. Mix goes on the horizontal axis, that's where our independent variable is going to be placed. All graphs need 3 things in order to be most effective. They need a title. The title tells us what the graph is. Axis labels on our vertical and our horizontal axis so that we know what the data is that we're looking at. And numbers need to be in consistent increments. The same space between the 2 and the 4 and the 6 and the 8. There are different types of graphs, and there are 3 main types of graphs that we are going to be using in this class. And you can choose, or you should choose, the graph depending on the type of data that you collect. For example, a line graph is used to collect data over time. In this example, we have my walk to school. We're graphing my velocity, my speed, and see how it changes over time. We can put multiple lines on the same graph so that we can compare different sets of data. If we do that, we have to have a key so that we know which line goes to which set of data. In this example, we're still looking at our walk to school. We're graphing our velocity over time, and we're seeing how it changes over time, but now we're comparing 2 different people. We have Diamond and we have Lamine, and we're comparing their data, their speed, their velocity over time. The second type of graph is a bar graph. This is used to showcase data that's collected in categories. Sometimes, however, the categories can be blocks of time, so be careful. In this example, we have our blocks of time are different months. So we have the month of March, April, and May, and we're looking at how much rain in inches has fell in each of those months. So be careful. If you group your blocks of time together, a bar graph might be the most effective way to showcase your data. The last one is a pie chart or a pie graph. This is used to show data that as part of a whole, as a percentage. So here we have our favorite colors in our class. We have blue, red, green, and purple. The way we get those percentages is we take the number. For example, we take the number of who like blue divided by the total number of students in our class, and that will multiply that by 100, and that will give us our percentage, and then we can put that into our pie chart. So now it's time for you to show what you know. So in your notes section, you have showing what you know. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 different sets of data that we need to put into these 2 different charts, and then we have a space down here where you're going to create a graph. Make sure that you follow the scientific conventions that we just discussed, that we just talked about. When we come back to class, we'll look at it and we'll see how we did and see what we need to learn. All right, guys, that's the lesson for today. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out, let me know, leave a comment below, or send me an email, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. All right, see you guys later. Bye.